Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video, and in today's video we're going to be reacting to the brand new chapter of One Piece, which is chapter 1004, and it is titled Millet Dumplings. Now, before we get actually into the contents of the chapter, I just wanted to say that I might not have an upload tomorrow since it's the 17th of February and that is my birthday. So I might and I might not, depending on what I'm going to be doing, because there is nothing to do in the UK because we're in lockdown. So I can't even go out or I can't even do anything. So I'll see what I'm doing tomorrow, and I might upload a video and I might not upload a video. But anyway, with that said, leave a like if you do enjoy the video, subscribe to the channel. It's free and you can watch my other videos, and if you end up not liking it, then you can unsubscribe, but I would appreciate it if you did subscribe and you stayed subscribed and watched all my videos. But anyway, with that said, let's take a look at the cover page. Okay, so this cover page isn't really like the best. It's a nice picture of Chopper eating some like sweets or whatever it is with a squirrel and a monkey. It looks like he's turned his rumble balls into actual candy. So, you know, he's an entrepreneur, Chopper is, bro, making money for the crew and for himself. There's nothing really more to say about the cover page just because it's just a picture, you know. It's not like a little story that Oda does or anything. But that said, let's get into the actual chapter. So the chapter starts off with us seeing Speed again, and it's nice to see Speed just because we haven't seen her in about 2 years. I think she was introduced in 2018 and now it's 2021, and so I think it was like the later end of 2018, so it's been about 2 years, just over 2 years. But it is really nice to see her again because it's just been such a long time. It's also nice to see that Tama's ability is being used again, because I was wondering when she was going to be used, because her ability is really good against the gifters, but I'm not sure if she could tame like other people that don't have like the smile fruit, so the ones that are actually using actual Zoan type devil fruits. I'm not sure if she would be able to tame them. I'd guess not, just because the smile devil fruits make them like half human and half like whatever animal it is, so they've always got like the animal activated, like the guy with the lion stomach, the person with the chicken butt or whatever. They're all like half animal and half human, so I'd guess that it's not a thing to be able to tame like people with normal devil fruits just because they can turn from human to animal, unless they do actually turn into an animal. So like Dalton, if he ate the dumplings when he was in his like whatever, what was Dalton's form again? It was like a boar or something like that. If he was in like that animal form, then he might be able to be tamed, but when he's in his human one, he won't be able to be tamed. But the addition of the gifters will be a huge bonus to the crew, especially in the late stage of the battle where they are kind of getting overwhelmed, like we saw in the last chapter where they had like 27 pieces compared to the 5 pieces that Luffy has. I also like that we're getting to see a bit more of Tama's ability, and that it has like a stamina kind of drawback, kind of like Laws, where he like can't use too many rooms, otherwise it takes a lot of stamina off him, and if he makes too big a one, then it obviously takes a bit of his lifespan off. But with Tama, it just like really hurts her cheek, and it seems like she almost passed out when she made like over 100 dumplings so that they could tame the gifters. I do really like that the children in this arc are actually doing something to help Wano become a better place, because they are going to be the generation that like lives in Wano for the longest, and for the generation that come after them as well. I really like it just because instead of all the adults doing everything, the kids are actually helping out and trying to do something. It was also nice seeing my boy again, Gazelle Man. I really liked his design and ability when we first saw him right at the beginning of Wano. It was also nice to see the Scorpion prison guard person, who is also quite strong, so he'll be really good help when they're giving the dumplings to the other gifters and then they're fighting the other members of Beast Pirates. And yeah, like I said, it's just going to be massive help getting all of these gifters, and depending on whether the dumplings do work on like normal zone users, it'll be nice to see them like actually helping out, especially in this later stage of the arc, just because it's going to be going down from now, especially because Kaido's just turned into his like dragon hybrid form thing, whatever it is, who's going to be basically unstoppable. Big Mom's still around and kicking and beating people up. She's going to be there as strong as anything. So it's going to be nice to get a bit of help, because they are completely outnumbered. I think it's 27 to 5,000 or something like that. So it's going to be an absolute joke to try and destroy the Beast Pirates. Now we get to see Frankie fight again in a one-on-one. We haven't seen him do any one-on-one fighting since Senior Pink, I think. I think that's the last time we saw him do it, and that was all the way back in Dressrosa. So that was like 4 or 5 years ago. I wasn't even reading One Piece. I've only heard about One Piece back then. I hadn't read it. I haven't like done anything. The only person I knew about was Luffy, and that's just because he's the main character. And it's also been even longer since we've seen Frankie do something in his like General Frankie form, and that was all the way back in Fishman Island, if you don't count like when he fought Big Mum a little tiny bit. I don't even think that was just in his like little bike form. That wasn't even in General Frankie. So the last time we saw General Frankie do some action was actually all the way back in Fishman Island, I think. I could be wrong, but I think it's all the way back in Fishman Island. That was like 2012 or 2013, somewhere like that. And it's kind of a shame that we haven't seen Frankie fighting in such a long time, just because I do love like the way that Frankie fights and like his design, and I just love everything about him, because he's got lasers, he's got guns that come out of his hand and out of his shoulders, he's got nipple lights, he's got a massive sword when he's fighting in General Frankie's. And another thing is that it's nice to see that even people that aren't Sanji, Zoro, Luffy and Jinbei aren't like useless during this arc and are actually fighting the stronger people in the Beast Pirates, like the numbers and stuff like that, just because it would be kind of bad if it was just Sanji, Zoro, Luffy and Jinbei fighting like all of the strong people. So I do like that the weaker people, or I say weaker people, but the people that aren't those four are actually fighting and doing a really good job against the stronger people in Kaido's pirate group. Oda put in a nice callback from Water 7 when Nami struck Khalifa through the heart with her lightning tempo thing. I've forgotten what it was called, but her lightning tempo, and it just like froze Khalifa's body. And it's nice to see that Oda has put that in again, and especially in this newest chapter, just because it's showing that even though that Nami has been like sidelined during the fights, it is nice to see that she is still strong and she still does pose a threat. Because like she did hit Big Mom with lightning, but that's like literally that's the only thing that she's done. Apart from that, she said that Luffy was going to become the Pirate King when she was about to be killed by Ulti, whatever the Ulti person's called. But I was thinking that Nami was going to do nothing during this arc, just because one, she's not the strongest, if we're being honest. She's more of like the brains. Two, she did lose Zeus recently, so she doesn't really have like that massive amount of lightning that she could have if she did have Zeus. And that is mentioned by Nami, that she doesn't do any damage to Ulti just because she doesn't have the amount of lightning that she would need to do damage. And it was like kind of cool in that she wants to get Zeus again. But it is nice to see that she isn't being completely sidelined during the big fights in this arc. And Usopp is getting some action because he is like the sniper of the group, and he's using the dumplings with his slingshot and just sniping them into all of the gifters' mouths so that they turn onto their side. And I really like that, just because Usopp doesn't really have the most strength in the group. He's probably like one of the weakest characters, if not the weakest character, if we're being honest. Because unlike Nami, he doesn't have like that lethal blow. He only uses like Tabasco sauce, like eggshells and everything like that. He doesn't really have like that oomph attack like Nami does with her lightning or something like that. He normally has to like use a strategy to be able to hurt people. So it's nice to see that he is actually getting used in the later stages of this arc. And as Frankie is fighting Sasuke, Sasuke does get distracted with Nami and Usopp. And while he's distracted, Frankie does get a really nice slice on Sasuke on his like stomach area when he's in his like dinosaur mode, and he gets a nice slash where like loads of blood comes out from him. So he could be out now, or it could just be like a wound where Frankie then takes him out quite easily once he's injured now. Moving on, we get to see the situation with Sanji. I thought that this might be the time where he develops and learns to fight women that pose a threat against the crew kind of thing, because I do really like that Sanji does stick to like his morals, but I kind of like the idea of him being able to fight certain women who like are going to be like damaging the crew or hurting like Nami or Robin or something like that. But he doesn't do that. He does get captured, and since he's captured, he's not able to fight Black Maria, and that leaves room for a certain Nico Robin to get a bit of action, because she is really strong. Nico Robin is such a strong character, and we kind of forget that just because she hasn't done anything recently, even during Dressrosa, where she just like protected Rebecca from like the massive spikes that have fallen from the sky. But she is such a strong character. She's really smart. She has an amazing devil fruit which she can make really big body parts, which could come in handy when fighting someone like Black Maria, who is massive. She's completely massive. Her finger is bigger than like the tip of her finger is bigger than Sanji, so it could come in handy that she can make massive body parts. But yeah, I do really like the way that Sanji did big up Robin during like this little bit, because he says not to underestimate her because she is really strong. And I do remember the first time we actually met Nico Robin, where she blew up the boat and she wasn't scared of the Straw Hat Pirates, and she was like just on the ship. She like was able to disable all of the people by like smacking their guns out of their hands. And I was thinking she is going to be really, really strong, and it's going to be a struggle to try and like defeat her, even though that she is kind of useless against Luffy. And now we get to find out where Law dropped the Akazaya 9. They got put in the treasury. I'm guessing Law didn't actually mean to put them in the treasury. It's just like Law throwing them down somewhere and then they landed inside the treasury by accident. But it is nice because when they do end up like either defeating Kaido, killing him, whatever happens to Kaido, then it means that Nami can go and save them and get the treasure from the treasury, even if it's only like a little bit of the treasure, because there's going to be so much treasure there because it's Kaido and he's one of the Emperors of the Sea, so they're going to have so much. And it could also be where they keep the road poneglyph, because Kaido's obviously going to have a road poneglyph. It's obviously, I'm pretty sure it's been stated that he's going to have one, so they can get the road poneglyph, and Nami can take a lot of treasure so that she becomes rich, because the crew are kind of running low on money because we haven't seen them take any money from anywhere. But when we do get to see inside the room, it turns out that there is an extra person in there. We don't actually get to see who the person is. We only get to see a silhouette of like what they look like kind of thing from the side, and it's only like their face. But there are 4 people who I think it could be. The first being Hiyori. She could be there to help out and have a good role in the arc and break like the princess stereotype trope kind of thing that happens in One Piece, like the Shirahoshis and the Rebeccas of like One Piece, who just like are there to be protected by Luffy. I hope that she does do something and breaks the curse of like being protected by the crew, just because it's kind of like annoying, just because you get to see like these characters who could be really good, who are like they're all princesses in their own right, because Rebecca's a princess, or she was a princess kind of technically. Shirahoshi was actually a princess and she's an ancient weapon, but then they just get protected all the time. They don't actually get to shine, so it's just like a throwaway character that no one really cares about. The second person it could be is Suru. It could be good if it's Suru, just because she's looking over the defeated body of her husband that she hasn't seen in over 20 years. It could also be that she was training to be like a samurai during the 20 years so that she could help out like Kinemon and that when they come back to take out Orochi. I think that would be really nice, just because it will bring some emotion to the table, where she's looking over Kinemon and upset that she's seeing Kinemon injured and down like that, because they didn't actually meet during the arc prior to this. And I do think that 20 years is a long enough time period to become a really, really strong samurai, or like know your way around a sword and be able to defeat strong people, because Zoro is only like 21, I think, and he hasn't been training for all those 21 years. I know that Zoro is like kind of like a bad one to reference, just because Zoro is extremely strong. She won't be nearly as strong as him, but it would be nice to see like her, because like there isn't actually like technically, because I know that technically Kiku is a girl because she feels it in her heart, but there isn't actually like a female samurai, and it could break the trope of not having female samurais, and I think that would be really cool to have. But anyway, the third person it could be is Toki. She's come from the past when she sent Kinemon and that away. It could be nice to see her power be used again, just because we've barely seen her power used, and it's such a cool ability. And with such a cool ability, only seeing her send people to the future is kind of like a letdown. She could use her ability like a time reverse thing, where she puts like a massive bubble, kind of like the Whitebeard bubbles that he makes, like when he's puts it around his staff and everything, where he makes the rumble stuff in the staff. It could be kind of like that, but in that bubble she could like be able to like rewind time on like a certain area and be able to heal injuries or stuff like that. I think that would be such a sick thing to be able to do, because then it makes her really strong. It makes her really useful during this arc, especially fighting Kaido, because a lot of people are going to get injured, and if she's healing them, then it could be really, really good for her to be there. And it could make the Akazaya 9 come back and be able to fight in the battle again, because they are really needing to do something during this arc, because it's going to be a massive letdown if they just do nothing and let Luffy and that handle everything. Now, the last person it could be is Eneru. I do have him last just because I think it's the least likely option for who the shaded character could be, but the silhouette does kind of look like him, and so I thought that I would mention him, just because it could be Eneru looking down on the defeated Kinemon and thinking about how weak they are, because he does have his god complex, and he's just thinking about how weak mortals are kind of thing. And it would also be nice to see Eneru again, because I do really love his devil fruit. I really like his character. I really like his character design because he looks like Eminem. And he was the first person that we got to see who has amazing observation haki that did get enhanced by his devil fruit because it's the rumble fruit. So I think that it would be such a sick thing if he did come back, especially if he did bring his little moon people friends that from the moon that he helped out, and then they could like add up the numbers as well. I think that that could be really cool, and it could get a way for Eneru to be in the final fight of the whole One Piece series. And you never know, it could make Luffy and that go up to the moon in the future. So that would be such a sick idea as well. It could be where the last road poneglyph is. It's up on the moon, so they have to go up on the moon to get it. But anyway, as the last chapter is the shaded out figure, there is nothing more to talk about in this chapter. So that is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy the video, please subscribe to the channel. It means so much to me. Like the video as well, because then I know that you enjoy the videos. And I will see you in the next video. It might be out tomorrow on my birthday, or it might not be, depending on what I'm just doing, just because I'm going to be getting some, you know, I'm just going to be having a nice chill day, I think. But I could like make a script and maybe make a video, depends on how I'm feeling. But anyway, I will see you then in the next video. I hope everyone has a great day or a great night wherever you are, and peace.